Imagine receiving a life-changing donation to your school, one that could transform your education, all from someone who wanted no recognition. This incredible act of kindness comes from none other than beloved actor Paul Walker. Paul Walker, best known as the star of Fast and Furious, was more than just an action icon. Off-screen, he was a passionate philanthropist and environmental advocate, dedicating his time and resources to causes that mattered most to him. What many don't know, however, is that Paul's generosity also extended to education. He believed in the power of learning and often supported programs that provided opportunities for underserved communities. Through his organization, Reach Out Worldwide, Paul helped fund disaster relief efforts, but his quiet contributions to education have left an even deeper impact. His commitment to helping others was not just a public image, but a genuine part of his character. Paul's legacy isn't just in films or charity work. It's also in the lives he changed through education, proving that his heart truly was as big as his on-screen persona. In the years before his tragic passing, Paul Walker quietly became a philanthropist, making anonymous donations to schools across the United States. Unlike many celebrities who lend their names to causes or publicize their charity work, Paul's generosity was rooted in a deep, personal desire to give back to communities in need. His donations were never tied to any specific cause or public recognition. They simply came from a place of genuine care, an urge to help students and educators who were struggling. The first time a school received one of Paul's gifts, the community was in complete shock. A substantial donation arrived, enough to completely transform the school. With the funds, they were able to provide new technology for every student, renovate their aging library, and even fund after-school programs that would help young minds continue to grow outside of the classroom. But perhaps the most striking detail was that there was no name attached to the gift. The only clue to its origin was a small, handwritten note that simply read, "For the students." It was clear that Paul wasn't interested in recognition or accolades. His gift was not about elevating his public profile. It was about creating lasting change for the future. This act of kindness wasn't a one-time occurrence either. Over time, more and more schools received similar donations, each with the same message: for the students. Paul Walker understood the value of education, and he believed in investing in young minds, providing them with the tools and resources they needed to succeed in a world that often overlooked them. The anonymity of Paul's philanthropy speaks volumes. It wasn't just about giving money, it was about empowering others to succeed, regardless of their circumstances. His focus on education reflected his understanding of its power to transform lives and break cycles of poverty. By making these gifts without fanfare, he made sure the attention remained on the students and the opportunities they were now able to access. Paul Walker's approach to charity was a perfect example of how one person can make a profound difference, not through loud gestures or celebrity endorsements, but through thoughtful, deliberate action aimed at improving lives. His legacy is a reminder that sometimes the most impactful acts of kindness are those done in silence, with no expectation of anything in return. As Paul Walker's anonymous donations continued to pour in, schools began to undergo remarkable transformations. What had once been underfunded institutions, struggling with outdated materials and limited resources, were suddenly equipped with state-of-the-art technology and up-to-date textbooks. For many students, it was the first time they'd had access to the kind of tools that could help them thrive academically. No longer burdened with outdated computers or broken equipment, they were given the opportunity to learn in ways they hadn't before. Teachers, too, experienced a dramatic shift. Many had long been working under challenging conditions, overwhelmed by large class sizes, limited resources, and insufficient funding. With Paul's donations, these educators were able to access the materials and support they needed to teach effectively and creatively. This newfound ability to engage students in innovative ways allowed them to create a more dynamic, impactful learning environment. One teacher recalled the impact of these donations with a deep sense of gratitude. I had students who couldn't even afford basic school supplies, let alone participate in extracurriculars. Suddenly, we had everything: computers, textbooks, even field trips that helped them learn in a way they never could before. It was life-changing. For these students, the donations didn't just improve their academic lives, they opened doors to experiences they would have never imagined transforming their education and their futures. The ripple effect of Paul's generosity was undeniable, affecting not just the schools, but the lives of every student and teacher involved. After Paul Walker's tragic passing in 2013, the world mourned not just the loss of an actor, but of a man whose kindness and compassion were far less known than his public persona. While his fame was tied to his roles in the Fast and the Furious franchise, it was his quiet acts of charity that truly reflected the depth of his character. For years, Paul had been making anonymous donations to schools across the United States, but the full extent of his generosity was hidden from the public eye. It wasn't until after his passing that the truth about these donations began to surface, and people were left in awe of his selflessness. Paul didn't do things for attention. He did them because he genuinely cared, one close friend reflected. It was clear that for Paul, helping others wasn't about recognition or accolades. It was about making a real impact where it mattered most. His donations, though given without fanfare, transformed the lives of countless students and educators, providing them with the resources they needed to succeed. Paul believed that if you had the ability to help, you should. His belief in the power of education and his desire to uplift the next generation were central to these anonymous gifts. In a world that often seeks the spotlight, Paul's quiet acts of kindness showed that true generosity doesn't require applause or recognition. His donations were his way of making a lasting difference in the lives of young people, giving them the tools to succeed without ever asking for anything in return. It was his way of shaping a better future one student at a time. Today, Paul Walker's legacy lives on in the students whose lives he quietly changed. His anonymous donations were more than just financial support. They were acts of belief in young people, in their potential to achieve great things, even when they may not have seen it themselves. Many of the students who received his gifts have since graduated, gone on to higher education, and pursued their dreams, each one carrying with them the inspiration of a stranger who saw their worth long before they could. Paul's kindness sparked something within them, a belief that they, too, could succeed, no matter their circumstances. It wasn't just about providing textbooks or computers. It was about giving these students the confidence and opportunity to reach for something greater. And while Paul never sought recognition for his actions, his impact is undeniable. His donations were not just a one-time gesture, they were the beginning of a ripple effect that continues to shape the lives of countless learners. The legacy Paul left behind is more than just material. It's one of empowerment, belief, and possibility. Even without fanfare, his gifts have inspired a generation of students to push forward, pursue their passions, and create their own futures. In a world where generosity is often loud and public, Paul's quiet, thoughtful approach is a powerful reminder that sometimes the most enduring legacies are built on simple acts of kindness that continue to echo for years to come. The footage begins with a heartwarming scene of a graduation ceremony, capturing the moment when students filled with pride shake hands with their teachers. It's a powerful symbol of accomplishment, a culmination of years of hard work and dedication. As they walk across the stage, each student is not just receiving a diploma, they are stepping confidently into a future filled with endless possibilities. The joy in their faces reflects the hope and excitement that comes with new beginnings. The camera then zooms out, revealing a school brimming with life and potential. The once outdated classrooms are now filled with modern technology, vibrant artwork, and eager students engaged in their lessons. Every corner of the school pulses with energy, from the bustling hallways to the open spaces where students collaborate and learn. It's clear that this is a place where dreams are nurtured and where resources that once seemed out of reach are now readily available. The transformation is undeniable. What was once a struggling institution is now thriving, equipped with the tools needed for success. This is a place where education no longer feels like a barrier, but a gateway to opportunity. The students, their faces full of promise, represent the potential of a new generation, empowered by the gifts that have helped them realize their worth. This scene is more than just a graduation ceremony. It's a testament to the impact of generosity and how one act of kindness can ignite a chain reaction that shapes not only individual futures, but entire communities.